What's up, my beautiful people? This is your boy Stefan, your Afro-Grenadian ambassador. Welcome back to my channel. To all my new and returning subscribers, thank you very much for your love and support. And to all my new viewers, thank you very much. I want you to like this video, because liking this video will give me, it encourages me and gives me the motivation to continue do what I am doing. And also subscribe and share this channel. Share this channel is very important, and some of you have been doing so, and I thank you very much for that. In today's video, we will be delving deeper into Sierra Leone's past history when it comes to African slave trade. Yes, we're going to delve deeper into the history of Sierra Leone. I did some extensive research on Sierra Leone, and I must say, that the scars of the transatlantic slave trade when it comes to the people of Sierra Leone is very deep, my brothers and sisters. And I never knew that Sierra Leone's history was so rich. And if we are talking about slavery, we cannot write the books of slavery without mentioning Sierra Leone. I did some, as I said, I did some extensive research, and the information that I gathered was so much that I said, you know what, I have to let Sierra Leone people speak for themselves. And this video, you would hear Sierra Leoneans who are Africans telling the history of Africa, and especially when it comes to the enslavement of Africans. It is time that the history of Africa be told by Africans. And I was touched and moved by the efforts and the passion and the determination and the extent that Sierra Leone is going to preserve the remnants, the history that they have remaining. And they are asking the world basically for help. And I believe that many of us people here in the diaspora should extend our help, should continue extending our help in donating whatever we can to the people of Sierra Leone, in helping them preserve that history of slavery, that history of colonization. So without any further delay, we're going to get right into the video of Sierra Leone. And I must say a special thank you to all my supporters, subscribers who have commented in the comment box, who have informed us, who have suggested and given information about Sierra Leone. And I have heard you, I have read the comments, and this video is specially dedicated to you. And I know there is so much to cover on Sierra Leone, but today's video I will be covering on Bunce Island, and Freetown is one of them I will be covering in the future video. But today's video will be focusing on Bunce Island, because Bunce Island played a significant role in the transatlantic slave trade. And I was shocked to really getting to understand this place called Bunce Island. I never knew there was such a place that existed. I never knew about Bunce Island, until doing the previous video I did about some Grenadians tracing back the roots to Sierra Leone. And then I get to discover more and more about Sierra Leone. And so I'm going to go right into the video, and we're going to learn more and more how the people of Sierra Leone, was affected by the transatlantic slave trade, and how they contributed to, the development and the building up of Pan-Africanism and Africa and Africans worldwide. So let us go right into the video.
Bunce Island was a slave fort operated by the British from 1670 to 1808. Thousands of Africans passed through its doors on their way for a life of captivity in the West. The majority of Bunce Island slaves went to the Americas.
Yes, my brothers and sisters, so as you can see, that Bunce Island was a slave fort that was operated by the British from 1670 to 1808. It was a holding area for captured Sierra Leone people, right? Sierra Leone enslaved Africans. They were captured from whatever tribe they come from. The majority of tribe came from, or people came from the Temne tribe, as history puts it, and there were other tribes that they came from, but there were a lot of Temne people that was captured, and they were brought to that specific location to be shipped to the Americas, as we can hear, as we can see that. And the Americas speaks of the Caribbean and North America at large. And those of you who have heard me or seen me did a video, is that the majority of the Tenme people went to North America, and some of them went to the Caribbean, more so specifically to Grenada on the island of Carriacou, because if you go listen to this video, you would have heard there were years ago some Sierra Leone dignitaries came to the Caribbean in search of the lost people, in search of the lost the lost people, so to speak, right? And they searched all over the Caribbean, Let's put away North America, because North America received a lot of them. But I'm talking about the Caribbean region. They searched all over the Caribbean, and this man said that they could not have find any of the people but on that specific island called Carriacou. Let me play this video again. I will play this video again so that you will hear what he said in his own words, that Grenada in the island of Carriacou was the only Caribbean island where the Tenme people can be found apart from North America, because Sierra Leone have strong ties to North America. Many of the Sierra Leone people were shipped to North America, and we're going to see why. But let me play this video first of what the gentleman said, to remind you of what this gentleman said.
Though West Africa has links into several Caribbean islands and the US, there has never been a reunion of the Temne tribe. This is a historic moment.
What we have here in Carriacou and or Grenada, Carriacou specifically, it cannot be found anywhere else in the Americas. The fact that we can identify with a particular group of Sierra Leoneans, the Temnes, it's one of the major ethnic groups in our country, but I cannot go anywhere else and find a bunch of Temnes or people that identify with Temne except for Carriacou.
So as you can hear, Mr. Amadou Masali said, is that when he looked throughout the Americas, which he is referring to other Caribbean islands, he could not find any people identifying to the Temne people but on the island of Carriacou in Grenada. Okay, so he made that very clear. North America was out of the question, because most of the Sierra Leone people that were captured, the enslaved African that were captured and shipped to the New World, their main destination was to North America. We're going to look into that, why that was. Okay? And while they were being shipped to the Americas, some of them, for some reason, that reason is, I did mention that in my previous video. So those of you who have not looked at the previous video I did about Grenadians tracing back the roots, some Grenadians tracing back the roots to Sierra Leone, you'd hear me say that, or you would hear one of the gentlemen, one of the historians that accompanied the Sierra Leone dignitaries on the island of Carriacou. There were two major plantations on the island of Carriacou, which was Grand Bay and you have Mount Pleasant. And these two plantations were owned by the Miller family. And one of the Miller family, or one of the members of the Miller family, were co-owners of the plantation that was in Bunce Island in Sierra Leone. So they collaborated. So I believe that is that is the reason why some of the Temne people were dropped off in Carriacou, because one of the British, right, plantation owners that had these plantations on the island of Carriacou that I just mentioned were responsible. They collaborated with the plantation owners on Bunce Island because they had connections in receiving some of the Temne people, or some of the Sierra Leone captured enslaved Africans, to come on the island of Carriacou to work on the plantations while they were being shipped to North America. So this is quite interesting. This is very, very interesting. So let us continue listening to the whole unraveling situation when it comes to Bunce Island.
Plantation owners in South Carolina and Georgia experimented with traditional plantation crops like sugar cane and cotton, but those did not do well in South Carolina. But they discovered that rice did extremely well. Plantation owners did not know how to grow rice, so they turned their attention to Africa, especially the rice coast, where Sierra Leoneans have been planting rice for ages. Predominantly captives from the rice coast, especially Sierra Leone, were taken to South Carolina to work on the rice plantations.
Yes, so as we have heard our dear sister explaining to us, is that the slave owners that was on, or the plantation owners that was in South Carolina, they were experimenting on which crops are the best to grow there. So they experimented on sugar cane and cotton, and these two crops proved of no success. The environment was not conducive for growing such crops. But later on down the road, they discovered that rice was doing extremely well there. The weather condition was conducive for the growing and the cultivation of crops. And henceforth, where did they look to? They looked to Africa, of course, where more specifically Sierra Leone, where a lot of Sierra Leone planted crops, right? Planted crops on the coast for quite an amount of years, generation after generation. They had the skill and the knowledge to do so. Whereas the plantation owners didn't have the skill. They maybe had a little knowledge, knowing that the environment was conducive for the cultivation of rice, but they did not have the skill. And they decided that they will capture and enslave the Sierra Leones, the people that were able to understand and had the skill in planting rice. It was part of their living. That is what they knew. That is one of the things that they did as a people. And so they captured them from Bunce Island and shipped them to South Carolina in North America on the plantation there to plant rice, because they did not have the manpower. So it shows us that these people cannot do without Africa. Without Africa, they will collapse. They as they describe themselves to be the first world nation, or whatever nation, developed countries, we Africans, our ancestors, is all thanks to our ancestors that developed them as a nation. Without Africans, the world cannot function. The world cannot function without Africans. And so that is one of the things why I am proud to identify myself as an African, or I am proud of my heritage and my identity of Africa. And that is something I'm not ashamed of, because God have blessed us with something, with skills and talents that, many other ethnicities wish that they had. And so let us continue. This is a quite interesting subject. So we see that is the reason why you can find a lot of connection. There's Sierra Leone have a strong connection to North America, right? Most so specifically South Carolina. I think there's a people called the Gullah people, right? And I will do deeper studies into who are these people and what ties they have to to Sierra Leone. But they do have strong ties there. They have traced back their roots. A lot of them are traced back their roots to Sierra Leone, most specifically the Temne people and other tribes. All right. So let us continue to listen closely to this rich history of our brothers and sisters in Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone's role in the transatlantic slave trade. Bunce Island is very important as a memorial to the dark history of man's inhumanity to man. And as a site of memorial, it is very important that this place is preserved so that descendants of captives who were taken will come back to visit this place as a pilgrimage to the ancestors who were enslaved here.
Wow. I'm out of words, to be quite honest with you. I'm really out of words. I wish I knew Sierra Leone's history quite earlier. Yeah, I wish I had this understanding of the role they played in the transatlantic slave trade very, very earlier. I never thought Sierra Leone had such deep imprint and deep influence when it comes to the transatlantic slave trade. So I'm very, very surprised. I'm very, very much touched by their history. Their history is one of a kind. And to all my Sierra Leone brothers and sisters who may be watching me right now, I know I have, there's a few who have subscribed to this channel, and I thank you guys very much. But I just don't only want you to watch and to subscribe, but reach out. Reach out. We here in Grenada, your brothers and sisters here in Grenada, your African brothers and sisters in Grenada, we want to reach out to you. We want to get to know you. I would like to get to know you. So feel free to reach out to me. I have put my email in the description box, so you can email me there and we can connect. Let's connect and get to learn more and more about each other, because that is what reconnection is all about as well. Getting to understand each other's culture, because there is no difference. There is no difference in who we are. Yes, our culture may be a little different because, our ancestors who were brought here had to reconstruct everything, because mostly the original, what they brought from the motherland was stripped away from them, but nothing is different. I was surprised when I heard that Saraka is the name taken from Sarah that is practiced there in Sierra Leone. So it's very, very interesting to see how things are coming back together, because I believe that God didn't allow this whole slavery thing and whole colonization thing to happen for happening's sake. He allowed it to happen for a reason. And in every dark situation, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I believe this is a time now where in this generation of Africans, far and near, there's a light at the end of the tunnel where we need to come back and reconnect and just get to know each other exchange ideas with each other. So feel free, my Sierra Leone brothers and sisters, let us reconnect, whether it be in education, whether it be in trade, whether it be in any way, any means necessary. We just want to get to know you guys. Yes, we want to learn to get to know you guys. As I said before, I am teaching my children about you. I'm teaching my children about the history of our ancestors, and I really pray that one day, I cannot force them, but I really do pray that one day they will, when they grow up, because they are boys, these boys I have, they will, when they grow up to become men, they would want to marry, a Sierra Leone, I would be happy if they do that, or whoever, not only, whatever whoever African woman there is, once that African woman is God-fearing, that they will be, that all that is a part of reconnection. And so I am very, very much grateful, getting to know, and very, very anxious to get to know more and more about you guys and learn about your history and about your culture. Yes, we Grenadians, we are very friendly, open people, very humble, and yeah, man, everything about ourselves, we inherited it from you on the motherland. We inherited every way of life. If you come to the Caribbean, those of you, my Sierra Leone's, Africans who are on the continent, if you come here, you would see that there is nothing different. There are many, there's this YouTuber, African YouTuber, who's on in Grenada right now. And when she saw how we live and how we do things, she was surprised to know that this is no different from the motherland. This is Africa. This is African people. So, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. I love you guys in Sierra Leone. Thank you guys. And we could comfort ourselves knowing that the perilous journey that our Sierra Leone ancestors made across the Atlantic Ocean was of a success, because the fact that the Sierra Leone dignitaries could have traced back their people to some of the people that was on Carriacou is a testimony in itself that despite the odds, despite the challenges, our foreparents and forefathers and children who were captured and in Sierra Leone and brought to Bunce Island to be shipped into the New World, they hold on tight, they hanged on, and they survived that journey and made it into the New World. And even I'm getting to learn that some of them were able to return back to Sierra Leone. So it's quite interesting. It's very, very interesting. So thank you guys for watching. God bless you. Take care. Until next time.